Good morning. Good morning. Truth Disclosure 369 in the house once again with my illustrious bodyguard behind me. Midnight the Battle Cat resting. I greet each and every person who may come across this video in the universe. Greetings of peace. Just wanted to get on here. Hope everybody's doing well as we continue to maneuver through the twilight zone. Seems like more and more people eyes are becoming open to other perspectives of the life that we are supposedly living and that we've been taught to understand a certain way. Now it seems that, sorry, messing with my damn goat chin, but it seems that there is a lot of people starting to awaken and see for themselves just the duplicity and the stupidity and the irony of a lot of the stuff that's going on. And without further ado, I just wanted to get on here and go into hold on a minute. Already messing up. Wanted to go into something to dealing with that shooting that happened in Buffalo the other day. First, I wanted to go to the Buffalo shooting. So when you go on Wikipedia, and the reason why I have to go to this is other people speaking on this, man, because I'm sick and tired of black folks allowing themselves to be used as fucking dumbed down puppets, you know, especially when you got so many that wanna that feel like they're doing what's right, that want to do what's right. They want to call out oppression. They want to call out injustice. They want to call out the wrong that's done. But then when you got motherfuckers using shit that is done to black people to misconstrue or to even use it for an agenda in which that agenda is not doing anything to benefit those that are of that incident and hurt. It's only benefiting those who are reporting the shit, those fake so-called mouthpieces that are acting like they're going to do things to prevent. You know, they had this line as fake human being. I don't even think the motherfucker real, but they had Biden ass go down. They go to Buffalo, and you know the big drama behind that is why he went to that, but he didn't go to the joint that happened when my man ran over those people in Minneapolis. You know, there was a whole bunch of stuff. So you're gonna always have people feeling like, you know, if you're from the black perspective, you know, well, I mean, me personally, I wouldn't even want them motherfuckers. Why would they even, what the fuck can they offer? The shit, the environment that we are living in is an environment they help to bolster, which led to this shit. So why would you want motherfuckers like that even speaking around? But I didn't want to go to this. We got here Wikipedia on, you know, where it describes what happened. But the crazy thing about it, you know, you get this. On May 14th, mass shooting in Corey and blah, 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 blah. 10 people were killed. 3 others were, this part that needs to be paid attention to. 10 people were killed, 3 others were injured. 11 of the victims were black. Shooter live stream attack on Twitch. Then it goes into this manifesto and great replacement, conspiracy theory, and domestic terrorism and racially motivated. Now, first of all, you see in here the labels. I talked about this yesterday. You got black. You got white supremacists. You got all these manifestos. Every time they keep talking about people that shoot off in some of this stuff, they bring up manifesto. They had a manifesto. They had this. They had that. Now, let's go to New York. Same similar incident. Uh, no deaths, fortunately, but it still was a violent act and a mass shooting. This was done by the black guy. What's his name? Frank. Not Frank. Frank Roberts. Yeah, this was April 12th. This was actually done by a black man. So let's see what it says. It does say black nationalists who had on gas masks, threw smoke grenades, fired a handgun 33 times. 29 people were injured, 10 of them from direct fire. No mentioning of what color they were. No mention of what racial background, any of that. Why? Could that be considered a hate crime if this man was a black nationalist? So where is where you see the hypocrisy there? And for some reason, the media and this administration only wants to go after and wants to call out and wants to label and point out certain shit that's dealing with certain things, whether it's pointing out white supremacy, which a lot of their asses represent, but yet claim they going after. And then the victims always have to be us, but in a position of a dumbed down, begging for crumbs part of society that's waiting on motherfuckers to shake something. You waiting to shake something to hear the confirmation from the same motherfucker stirring shit up. So you have on here a black guy that done basically the same shit. Fortunately, there was nobody that died, but the same violent, fucked up manner of doing things in a crowded subway. And yet none of that's labeled as hate crime. None of that's labeled as race attacks when he was already being acknowledged as a black nationalist. But you don't get that coverage. Matter of fact, you don't even hear, and I'm over about this up, you don't even hear nothing else about that guy. Let alone the guy my man that shot up that supermarket, who claimed he did it because of somebody who had ran over some people. But the games they are playing with this shit is serious. And you have to understand, if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna listen to these folks trying teach about racism and white supremacist wrongdoing and all this shit while they sitting up here doing shit like this, then something's wrong. People are have lost their mind. And the literal ability to use cognitive, logical thinking, fucking like Spock, is illogical, But if you can sit here and you can condone shit like this administration and a lot of these big mouths out here, fake ass leaders and shit, that's stirring up shit, that's jumping on incidents and riding until the wheels fall off in the wrong direction while everybody trying to stand, instead of jumping off that fucking cart, motherfuckers hanging on to it while it's about to crash. It's ridiculous to listen to the same people that's telling you about all this shit, telling you about this, and then they would do shit like this. Now, this is from May 16th, a couple of days ago. Now, at one point, a lot of the GOP and Republican people have been bringing this shit up. Something that, like I said, it's all dealt with intent. But there was some aspects that tried to say that this wasn't true or part of it is true and the rest is lying, but I don't know about that. I think everything these folks be coming out saying that these folks lying about is definitely fucking true, because they haven't shown anything that when they try to lie and say that they didn't say they were sending out kicks with crack pipes. That ended up being true. A whole lot of shit. They lied about talking about, and that's a big talking point. They talking now like that really makes a fucking difference. And they even got that murderer liar Fauci chiming in on that shit about the White House saying that vaccines came out under this administration. I mean, common people with common sense, they got, I mean, damn, motherfuckers ain't that fucked up. I hope not. I remember when the vaccines came out. They came out the same week the fucking elections of 2020, which was surprising. Like, damn, all of a sudden they got fucking vaccines now? Right after, literally the same week of the fucking 2020 presidential elections, they and Trump ass and his bogus ass administration lost, and all that shit came out, and Biden, his bogus ass administration come in. All of a sudden, all these vaccinations start coming out. Mind you, that's still under Trump's administration until January, which is inauguration day. So from November until January, that stuff was already out, but yet they put that shit out there, and now, oh y'all, that didn't happen. It was under, people who fluently be on Trump jock and on his tip. Oh man, Trump did that. He don't want to put that out there like that. So fucking what? What difference does it make? All the shit still, all the problems and stuff that still are in the air since then. And this is the only thing motherfuckers want to sit up and gripe about. But you won't say nothing about this. With the fucking baby formula shortage, why would your own government be sitting up here trying to legitimize sending pallets of baby formula to the border for refugees and immigrants who, because of some under the Flores settlement agreement, the Biden administration is providing migrant infants at the border with baby. So that means under any fucking settlement or agreement, this government would completely sell out its own people just to maintain a fucking quota, a status quo according to whatever this bullshit is on paper or whatever it is. No respect, man. No respect. How can you do that? So we go right here. The Biden administration is standing by its decision to support migrant families at the border amid the nationwide baby formula shortage. That doesn't even make sense. For that doesn't even, just that sentence right there. Why would your administration be supporting people at the border amidst something that's going on that's affecting families and people here in the cities, in the states, in the rural areas, in the urban areas? Why? It just fleetingly preposterous to even think that these people, man, so-called smart, intelligent motherfuckers are doing shit like this, and people sitting here allowing that shit to roll, not saying nothing. On Friday, it states here, White House press secretary addressed this, and Representative Kat Cammack of Florida and other Republicans criticized them for providing this stuff to immigrant children. And then the thing is, a person doesn't want to be cruel or unempathetic and all that, but a lot of the shit that's happening is happening because the administration, this government is causing it. And it's like they want that to happen. Just like this whole Ukraine and Russia thing, it's like the push to constantly everybody talks about how they fear nuclear war and all this shit and how they don't want that to happen, and but yet it seems like a motherfucker getting closer there with the shit that they're doing to try to provoke that shit. All the way to Finland and was it Norway? I think it was Norway too, but trying to go get into NATO and Russia, like, oh shit, let's go ahead and move these nuclear missiles to the border to make sure they know, nah, y'all ain't about to do. So this is the shit that's going on, and it's like they trying to press for this shit. what fucking people would sit up here and deny their own that they claim that they stand up for, you know, same black people that's suffering from this shit, that's just went through this shit with that shooting in Buffalo, and they had all these fake ass members from this administration go there, including the president, speaking on bullshit. And you probably have a lot of them sitting up there waving their hands and thankful for that bullshit, thanking God that these evil people came through, speaking on it on behalf of their loss and all of which they don't give a damn. They do not. And you probably had a lot of these folks probably have children that's probably going through the thing with the baby shortage shit, baby formula shit, and you turn around and this same government is out there running mouth about what they are doing shit like this. That's the sad thing, man, that people don't understand. Why would you do this shit? Now, they tried to say they weren't doing this at first. And I guess as people looked more into it and it got out there, well, you know, all of a sudden is a hot button topic now. Why would you be sending? That's no different than your people dying of or severely hit with poverty, no food, and you got pallets of food at the border. You ready to get to those at the border while you watch your people across the land, across the board, suffer from starvation. That's basically what that shit is. There are reports of babies who are in need of particular formula, having issues, having to be admitted to hospital, and that's sad, man. Because they showing literally to everybody they do not care about. They have no shame. They would take it all the way to the children, to the babies. So how could you ever do some shit like this to your own people? Of course, this line wench here is out, and they got a black one in, another line wench. Sad thing is, you got some people who will sit up and talk shit about her, about she's a liar and this and that. There's a one guy I watch on YouTube. It's called Liberal Hive Mind. He's pretty good, and I agree with some of his stuff, but I just can't resonate on people who constantly throw Trump name up like he's the savior for everybody when he's just as corrupted. He's just helped expose a lot of shit that he's used to doing amongst all the other motherfuckers that we have been normally hidden. I kind of get turned off people that constantly, you know, Trump is not God. He is not a God. Biden is not a God. None of these motherfuckers, Obama, none of them. They're all fucking fakes playing a role. But he always bashes Jen Psaki like she's the only lying ass House press secretary that there ever was. And that's right there is totally bullshit. Through the years of just through the years of the Trump administration, Spicer, Huckabee, they were lying every time you cut the goddamn TV on, they happen to be doing a press conference. They're doing the same fucking shit. So if you're gonna call this shit out, call it out all across the board with this bullshit. That's why I get so sick and tired of this tribalism according to politics shit. Both these motherfucking parties ain't worth a goddamn thing, man. Both of them are meant to give the illusion that you have a choice to fall back on under the rules and guidelines that this government was built on, and the Constitution was supposedly submits it. That has been totally fucking disregarded. Yet everybody screams, "This is the Constitution fought." All that shit been disregarded. So, you know, that kind of unnerves me when I hear people constantly talk about, oh, she's the liar. So she's gone. She's in the MSNBC or one of them fake ass media outlets, continuing with the bullshit. And they have the black, they had to make sure they say that she's a black lesbian. That's the new press secretary. Matter of fact, let me bring her up. Okay. Yeah, they bring her on the scene, and here she is. Hold on 1 minute. Let me. And I actually watched her first briefing. It was same shit. I mean, what the fuck you thought you was gonna get? For some reason, um, especially if you are you have some uh relationship far as color or whatever, motherfuckers think that just because certain people that have a little more color that matches them, like they're gonna be make a fucking difference or whatever. And it's not even about that. That's the whole point motherfuckers trying to make to a lot of people. It's not even about that shit. These folks been using these fucking arguments for years, man, to keep everybody at it, man. But this is the new press secretary. What's her name again? Karine Jean Pierre. I think she's Haitian or of Haitian parents. Yeah, of Haitian parents. So, you know, they always got to prop her up. She's black, a black woman, and also lesbian. But yet she's up here doing the same fucking shit as the white redhead woman was doing before her, and the white woman that was doing before her, and the white man that was going before her. All these motherfuckers liars, man. All of them repeat and dodge and deflect when motherfuckers bring real shit to them. So it's like ain't no there's no in all administrations, especially over the last over the last several years. Get the fuck out of here. So nobody should be sitting up here trying to compound shit on and leaving on one person like all the rest of them saints. Fuck that. All these mother bastards liars, man. So you got all this shit playing out far as now with with this crap that's going on and with the baby formula. Folks lying about what's going on, even though they won't tell you that some of those places that make baby formula, they were told to close for certain issues dealing with recalls and shit like that. And it's almost like it's like almost everything that's happening is like shit happened, even with the food processing places and stuff burning down and shit happening. It's like a lot of this stuff is stemming from stuff that had been happening, but since nobody, a lot of people don't know anything of it because they don't pay attention to stuff like that. And then when you start suffering from the after effects, then everybody left wondering, well, what the fuck been going on? Then when they find out, shit been shut down, this been shut down. Well, why was it? Because the government said, oh, why this ain't being produced? Oh, because that factory got burned down, or this or that, all type of crazy shit. But another thing I wanted to get on, and you know, this is something that I would like to one day get on here and focus on that. But a lot of this stuff that is happening is really other aspects of why they keep lying about shit, why they keep been doing this, why they've been doing that. Why has it always been like this for year after year after year, really with no change, really with nothing? And why now is it at the worst as it's ever been? And even with all that going on, why do we have this going on? And I'm just gonna go to because yesterday they had UFO hearings on, you know, Congress. One thing about it, they can't hold no hearing to hold Fauci accountable for lying in front of them, but they will have a UFO hearing. So let's go to New York Times. A House hearing, videos of unexplained aerial sightings, and this one of the articles you got to pay to see, which they're doing that now with a lot of joints. Okay, let's go to CBS. Pentagon officials testified first public UFO hearing in more than 50 years. Wow. Now, why would that be happening in the middle of fucking pandemic still, in the middle of fucking food shortages, gas price hikes, formula shortages, money being misappropriated and taken out of, taken from the citizens of this country and reappropriated to other areas of the world with all this shit happening here, whether it be literally currency, money, or supplies, equipment, or whatever. But yet this shit is not being used to help us. People here, it's being used to prevent, to prop up others somewhere else while motherfuckers here go through the ringer. Why would all this shit be being brought up? So let's see what this said. The House panel held the first public congressional hearing on unidentified flying objects in more than half a century on Tuesday. It was yesterday. With top Pentagon officials saying the number of unidentified aerial phenomena reported by pilots and service members have grown to about 400. Now, this is just amongst pilots and service members. Now, this is one thing that I stand on, and I never cared who believed me or who doubted or whoever. And when I hear other people speak on it, I don't hold no judgment because I know it's stuff out here that these folks care not to share until they get, and even now it seems like they're trying to share, but you can bet there's something behind this shit, that why they're trying to all of a sudden bring attention to something that they've been saying and claiming didn't exist or wasn't true for 70 years or so or more. So you got people who see, I know I've seen shit twice, 2 occasions that didn't add up to what is known according to what you grow up seeing and or learning about, whether it's a plane, helicopter, hot air balloon, blimp. We all know what shit that flies in the sky and how that shit look. So when you see shit that looks totally some abstract to that, nowhere near, then of course there's something that's mysterious, a UFO, unidentified object, or they call it now UAPs. So you got all these folks seeing this shit in the military, and they got a little picture there or whatever. So this is what they were talking about on Capitol Hill yesterday, in the midst of all this stuff. In the midst of all this stuff that's going on and affecting the country. This is what the lawmakers were speaking on. UFOs, and there was one who actually, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah. They are in CNN, lying at CNN. They have said that key lawmaker warns at UFO hearing unidentified aerial phenomena are a potential national security threat. Now, in the realistic sense, yeah, that's true. I mean, you had to look at it like this. If you sit here and you have an airspace, in which all objects are supposed to, all aerial craft are supposed to, in certain areas, they're supposed to give notice of who they are, where they are, what, of course, the design of the craft automatically lets you know, yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But, even if you're foreign craft, you must let motherfuckers know to fly across certain airspace and shit to get permission to do this shit. Now, if you got shit that's doing that, just flying around all willy-nilly, like, oh shit, just going through and nothing, and not let nobody know shit or nothing. And I can understand the reason why you want to do that, because you never know, it might could prevent an air catastrophe from crabs or whatever crashing or anything like that. So yes, that could be a potential issue. But me personally, in my opinion, do I really think that it's no, I don't. I don't think it's a national security. I think a lot of people realize that a lot of this has nothing to do with no national security issue. It has to do with shit they've been lying about for all these years. And now with all this shit happening and all this stuff, they silently wanted to push this stuff, well, quietly want to push it out here to get people conditioned to the reality that there's other stuff out here that they've been lying about the whole time. So that when people start seeing shit or start coming across stuff, then automatically want to make the unknown go always push fear. So the fear of this unknown stuff and all this stuff, be fearful. And it's almost like, how can you be fearful of shit that like that when you got all this shit going on right here on the ground, all across the planet, all the devilish and evil shit going on? Get the fuck out of here. But they're saying that these objects could be a potential national security threat. And so I don't know what that means. Are they going to start looking in this shit? Are they going to start trying to beef up the space force? I'm trying to figure out, okay, if that's the case, what can y'all do? How are y'all going to secure? How would y'all be able to, if this is a security threat, what would y'all be able to do? Y'all sitting up here telling everybody every day that we have never seen no technology like this. We don't have anything. We don't know if any other people got stuff like this. And after so many months or whatever, nobody has nothing like this. So if you deem these objects or whatever as a point of national security threat, then how the fuck would you secure it? How could you promise the population that you could secure them from stuff like this? If you saying that this is a security threat, do you have do they have technology that could somehow compete with that? According to them, they don't. So if they do, or they have some other shit, that means they've been lying. They've been having a lot of shit hid for years now, in which there are aspects of this this government and stuff going back to the 50s, going back to the 40s, of secret shit they've been doing, secret space programs, secret shit they have been doing with downcraft from UAP or UFO craft, and which they have worked on and what they call it, reverse engineered, so that they can be able to use it. And that's just some things that's out there that's floating around. A lot of these folks that's speaking at these things, a lot of the main ufologists or folks that actually were dealing with Area 51 and all that shit, they stated about certain stuff like that. That they, people who used to work with NASA or as they got older or whatever, they used to say certain shit before, especially before they died on their deathbed. Yeah, they were working on this and they were working on that. While at the same time, they keep lying about it. So this is something major, because to me personally, I think they're going to try and first of all, I have to explain myself where I'm at on this. I believe that there's other life out here. I believe they've been lying about the existence of other life, not only off world, but also here on this planet, because this is a big planet. There's areas of this planet many people don't reach. And it ain't because uh, maybe we don't want to, but because there's some people who like to travel to certain places. It's just certain areas of the world is just totally remote. But people, governments, and those that have a little more resources, a lot more, are able to go to these places. So you never know what's going on in areas in the Pacific or areas in remote locations, even in the Arctic or Antarctic, what these folks are doing. You won't know because you ain't got enough money to even cop a ticket to go to within 100 miles of these areas. So, I mean, there's life that these folks have been lying about. They've been lying about history. They've been lying about a lot of shit, man. They've been distorting it. A lot of it has been some truths to it in some of their history books and some truths in their history texts, especially dealing with ancient civilizations and shit. But the overwhelming majority of it has been distorted for a specific reason. And that is to shield the fact that a lot of these old civilizations, a lot of this stuff, historical renderings throughout history from different groups, cultures, and stuff, they talk about running into people. They talk about, other beings. They talk about it. And I'm not going to go all the way into it because I want to make sure I get on here and be able to pull up certain stuff. And I just wanted to share my opinion on it, what I feel in my spirit. And in my spirit, I feel it. Because I believe that a lot of this stuff, when we talk about creation, God's creation, we tend to just keep it right here. Plants, trees, animals, humans. And that's it. we tend to just think, oh yeah, that's that. But obviously, when we look at scriptures, there were angels, there were devils and demons and all this other stuff. So creation didn't just stop with what's here. So when we look at a lot of the old school stuff, like the ancient cultures and stuff, when they start talking about sky people and they start talking about those that came from heaven and Anunnakis and beings that came from another star system that taught them this and taught them that, then you start talking about something different. You start talking about more characters added to the already characters that we already got or know about. And that's the whole deal. These folks don't want nobody to find out about that shit. They don't want nobody to know about God's creation. Is way more abundant than we have been led to believe. And it's just unfortunate that in this circumstance, this planet, us on this planet, everything that's transpiring around us has been under some bullshit. It hasn't been going naturally like it's supposed to be honest. So that's why, I believe we see a lot of these, and I'm gonna play this video. That's why we see a lot of these videos and stuff on different stuff transpiring as far as weird objects. I've seen objects back in 2019, and objects back in 2009. It was like a year after I had got out of prison. I had been in prison for almost 13 years and was working a job, was working security at the church my parents attended. I attended as a child, but as I got older, they basically still maintain they attended it. And at work that day, me and a coworker were actually outside and seeing these objects. But let me see what they're talking about.
Cockpit of the aircraft. And is this one of the phenomena?
Let's go back.
What are we observing? What you see here is
Now
an
this,
aircraft that is
now all
operating
these liars and stuff are sitting up
the
here
US Navy,
doing this.
training range that has observed spherical object. Here's what you'll see coming up right here is a airlift. Now back up just a spherical object right here, zooms by the window right in this area right there. And as they fly by it, they take a video. You see it looks reflective in this video, somewhat reflective, and it quickly passes by the cockpit of the aircraft.
And is this one of the phenomena that we can't explain?
I do not have an explanation for what this specific object is.
And is this one of the situations where it is, that's the object that we're looking at?
All right, now that's enough. I can't really stand listening to Democrats because they, to me, I look at it. A reason why I have to work on that, but I really can't stand listening to them. They have completely fucked this country up, and they want everybody to praise them and follow suit. But I'm not one of them. There's plenty of that doesn't agree. They have helped fuck this country up, just like Republicans and the stupidity that they have co-signed with. They help fuck this country up as well, and continue to listen to these fucking liars and hypocrites acting like they really are concerned or give a damn about certain issues. It's, to me, debasing, and it's like a slap in the face and a playing with a person's intelligence. Hell, that a lot of them don't think people are intelligent anyway. Unless you thinking like them, then you ain't intelligent. But and also just don't have no respect for them. And in fact, a lot of people are gone off the past for a couple of years from this shit, this mystery shit. And like I always said, man, I look at them as directly co-conspirators for the murder of a lot of people, including relatives. So I could care less about constantly hearing them. But the reality is, this is what they're talking about. This is something that now is a thing. So you look at the list. Here we go. U.S. official says Pentagon committed to understanding UFO origins. Are they? Are they really going to be committed to that? Are they really going to be trying to find out what these things are? And if they find out what they are, who are occupying them and who are controlling them? Some people may have different perspectives on what's going on. Hell, maybe some people may say it may be some shit they got. And if it is, why are y'all sitting up there lying about it and keeping it hidden from the public? Especially if you're using tax money. Once again, especially if you use that money that's being collected through taxation, and you're using it on shit that you're keeping the public knowledge of from the rest of the people. So if they are doing secret space programs, doing reverse engineering on shit and got stuff going on, you know how they were able to do that. They needed money to do that. And that money they got from motherfuckers paying their taxes. Then you wonder why shit ain't fixed around here, shit falling apart and all that, because a lot of money ain't been going where it's supposed to been going in the first place. Then you wonder why the power grids ain't up to date. Every time solar flares start rolling or storms and shit start coming around, motherfuckers start getting shook up because they don't know if their lights and stuff gonna go out, the power gonna go out. Then you wonder why streets is falling apart. Then you wonder why buildings ain't up to code and all this other shit. Why certain things dealing with the infrastructure have not been done yet or have been hastily pasted together in some shade tree type bullshit that only ends up working out for what? Another couple of months or so before you had to do the whole shit over again or whatever, instead of just redoing everything. That's why these folks, I believe, but these folks know the reality of extraterrestrial life, or people could call it extraterrestrial. Some people call it interdimensional. It's other life out here. And it's all part of this grand scheme of the creation. That for some reason, folks just want us to continue to believe we just it. And that's not really nothing to brag about. When you see the condition of what this planet is in, and the what's going on in societies all across, that's not nothing to brag about. Shit, you see more empathy and compassion in some of the more in the animal kingdom sometimes than you will in human beings communities, human communities. Look at all this shit going on. Then you got the same motherfuckers hold on, then you got motherfuckers on the bullshit trying to control folks and this, that, and the third. So, you know, I just wanted to get on there and share that. But throughout all this stuff, man, with this stuff with the shooting and everything, you know, all people deserve the right to live in peace. And I just wanted to say this before because I'm about to get ready to get off here. These folks want so bad for everybody to continue to be at odds. I mean, I can't get on here enough and try and do my part to just add to that voice. They really want people at each other. They don't want Black people to understand that. And I always bring up Black people because I'm also Black myself. Do I use that as something as a no, I don't. I don't use that as no damn badge. I'm a human being. I try and look at everybody as human beings, whatever we are, whatever race, whatever culture we end up falling into. That's part of the experience. That's part of the experience of being a spark from the creative source. That's how I look at it. And it's, you know, it's what you do with it. And a lot of us are learning along the way, and many of us make mistakes. But when you have an overall agenda to try and keep people pitted against one another, then, you know, as you do that, the stuff around you, like even the stuff that's dealing with the UAPs and them doing all that, nobody knows about it. Nobody would even consider inquiring about stuff like that, or even researching stuff on it, because people are too caught up into the tribal. And it's basically everything they talk about, as far as with gangs and all this shit. You know how motherfuckers trying to make gangs. I know I used to be in shit, so you know I can speak on it. But it's no different than what a lot of these motherfuckers are doing out here. They basically turn humanity into roving gangs. Whether you are in a gang called Crips, Bloods, whether you are in a gang called Democrats, whether you are in a gang called Republicans, whether you are in a gang called progressives, moderates, conservatives, whether you are in a gang called pro-abortion, anti-abortion, whether you are in a gang for anti-Semitism or pro-Palestinian or pro-women's rights or anti-women, all this shit can be turned into gangs, because now everything is polarized, and motherfuckers will kill behind that shit. They've had people murder people for abortion by blowing up or murdering doctors who are performing abortions. This is facts. This shit has happened throughout the past. And the fact that these folks will constantly step in like they're really trying to solve problems that they've caused, man, is very, very, very much an embarrassment and a disservice to people who are really seeing through this shit the right way and seeing it because their spirit is leading them to see it the way it should be seen, not the way that charlatans and soothsayers, spinners of truth and reality want people to see it. So, you know, when I think about that shit with that shooting, I mean, this is serious, man. I mean, I got love for everybody, man. I don't want nobody to continue to be going through this. Sometimes I be just wishing that some days, you know, the veil will just be lit and folks just see. But I know it takes, each thing is an individual thing. Individuals should be wanting to research and spiritually get themselves together so that they can actually become aware and use that armor of God that is spoken of in Ephesians. Shoot, when you put on the full armor, a lot of this stuff becomes null and void. And I'm not even going to just stop with the Bible, man. It's a lot of scriptures and scripts from different texts, even ancient texts, from the same groups that spoke about those that came from the sky, or the sky beings, or the sky people, or the sky council, or this or that. Like, who all these folks are, man? Who all these are these beings that are all on these pictures and stuff? These that made all these different designs and stuff with the help of human beings, or vice versa, where human beings they're being taught how to do this stuff. I don't know. We'll never know the truth until they bring. This is the whole fucking purpose of why I think all this shit is happening, because we're barreling toward truth. A lot of truths that have been hidden for millenniums. And we're still suffering because of the suppression of those truths. In the Black community, in the white community, in the Asian community, in the Native community, in the human community, period. Everybody's suffering somewhere down the line because of them truths not being out here. So hopefully this shit is going to open it up. And as a Black person, I just want to put out there that I hope and want Black people to really stop with this going along with shit just because you're supposed to think like, oh, because your skin is the same color as mine, oh, I'm gonna ride with what you say. So if you sitting there talking about going to do all this devilish shit to other people because they deserve it, or I do not agree with shit like that. You're not helping the problem. You're creating more problems. The opposite, white people who do the same shit, they're not helping the problem. They're not part of the solution as well. They are creating more problems. Asians, they're not helping. They're creating more problems. And the reason why I say that too is because this fucking shooting that happened that took these human beings' lives, there were other shootings that happened that same day that were against Taiwanese, that were against Koreans, and you don't hear none of this stuff being blasted across the media like they're doing this. So Black people, you got to you open that third eye and stop being used as stooges and clowns for those who don't mean you no good, just as well as they don't mean their own. There's Black people that's a part of this scheme, just like there's white people. They care nothing of humanity, just control. And as we continue to move forward and keep moving forward, all this shit will begin revealing itself. And when I talk about this shit, I get angry because I realize how important it is for Black people who always, I know it, I've been in these conversations. I've come up knowing only one thing as from seeing shit. Oh man, fuck that, fuck them, fuck that. I ain't got no, I know that shit. I've been there. And once you realize and you wake up from that, you realize how lost and how really misguided you were. Even though you felt like you was doing what was right. What you was doing was cool. And it's so much stuff that they're going, you know, that they're trying to do with that circumstances, but a lot of people are seeing through it. And you can't be sitting up here speaking on that, and you ain't speaking on thousands of black folks killing one another in Chicago and all across the country. And you expect intelligent black people who got common sense and critical thinking skills, using logic, not gonna sit here and be like, fuck y'all, you know, look here, man, y'all not gonna keep doing this shit. And you know, it gets me hot because I know this affects people's families, everybody that, you know, friends, everybody who may think differently or look at certain shit. But you know, it comes with the territory when you want to change the way you're thinking and all this other stuff. So I don't care about that. These folks are fucking everybody over. Black people, white people, everybody. There's just as many black folks sitting up here fucking their own people over, just like white folks are and have been doing. These fake leaders, all that, and I ain't got no problem. I don't care about seeing this shit. I don't care about it. I already stated I don't trust them. I don't trust and have no respect for none of them. I can't understand how you have respect for the Democratic Party in the first place. That caused a lot of this shit and doing a lot of hypocritical shit right in front of so many people's faces, but yet for some reason they think it's, oh, this is the right thing to do or whatever. How is it fucking like that? Why is it the right thing to do? And why must you impose that on somebody else because you feel like it's right to you? No, man. So I just implore, man, black people, man, please wake up, man. Please try and look at shit differently. Keep an open mind, open the third eye. You know, it doesn't even I don't know. I don't even know how to constantly explain it because it's hurtful because I know that a lot of people are caught up in it. Family members, loved ones, stuff that I know, you know, it hurts. And you know these folks fucking everybody over. It hurts to know that white people sitting up here accepting shit the way they are and thinking they supposed to be entitled to certain shit and shit should be this way and that way and that way. And they not even understanding they getting fucked over. They sitting up here crying and talking shit about this and that and the third. And the same people they keep on talking about is doing the job or whatever. They the ones causing this shit. They the same ones causing this shit for everybody. They the same ones who sit up here and accept non-voted for people who weren't elected to dictate to elected officials that so-called run your own country. You have outside individuals speaking and giving advice and on policy and all this shit, but yet they go for it. Who men died for men, women, children died throughout wars and everything to fight and maintain this status quo here. To me, be honest, I think everybody who passed away in warfare from all these wars that claim they was fighting for democracy and all this shit, man, these folks they ain't stopped turning over in their graves. Some of the shit that this present administration is doing. Not only this present administration, but the past one, the one before that, all that, man. You had people march off, all colors. We ain't even gonna go in who was fighting and then, you know, they wouldn't allow blacks to fight and all that. It don't matter. Fuck that. The point is you had people going out here serving, trying to do something they felt was genuine to pull their support in, and they went over and they fought. They fought. They killed, were killed, destroyed. While motherfuckers was making money, enriching themselves off of bloodshed and destruction and trying to reshape the planet the way they wanted to for better control and did all this shit. And according to, we're spreading democracy and look where we at right now. Everybody who fought in these wars, man, And a lot of these wars were started for some bullshit, just to legitimize starting it. All these wars, all these people gone. Memorials erected, all this stuff to try and show how people supported them and people accepted what they did as heroic and as a good thing for this country. And then you see all this shit happening from the same motherfuckers that claim they respect and support the troops and all this stuff. Man, these folks ain't stopped spinning in their graves. But anyway, I just want to get on here and do that, man. People wake up, please. Man, we got to, man. We got to. Someday I'll be hoping, man, motherfuckers just say, fuck it. They wake up in the morning and say, fuck it. We ain't doing shit. We're not going punching no clock. We ain't going to do none of that stuff. We ain't paying no taxes. We're going to make this shit shut down so that these folks, you know, those in the dark could be exposed for who they are. Come on out. But we need to find out who's really running this shit. If people still think that this present administration of this government is running this country, I don't know what to say, man. You can't tell me that's the case when you got motherfuckers sending fucking baby formula to the border while you got your own citizens fucked up. You still send money over here and while your own citizens fucked up. Your tax collection agency still owe millions of people. You know, that's the same talking points. That's real. That's real. But with that, I just wanted to share that, and I'm gonna get off of here. I hope that everyone continues to maintain a peaceful day, blessed day, and continue to stand strong, man. Try and continue to change the way we think, man. All of it is a struggle from coming up out of this shit, man. Thinking a certain way, indoctrinated in a certain way of thinking. That indoctrination doesn't care what color you are. You're indoctrinated as a white person, you're indoctrinated as a black person, you're indoctrinated as a Asian. Doesn't matter. You're an indoctrinated human being, and we need to break it. Human beings, man, we are supposed to be able to coexist and work together and move forward to build the societies that our ancestors used to have back in the day, that motherfuckers still wondering how the fuck that shit even happened. At the same time, our ancestors were also dealing with other shit. And these folks know that it's other stuff out here. And all that's gonna come. That's what I believe. And I feel is going to happen. But with that, I'd like to greet you as I came in the greeting words of peace. See you next time. Might be on here tomorrow, or maybe as information come out, or I feel in the spirit, I get back on here. But I greet you in the greeting universal words of peace. Peace. Oh, look at Midnight back there. Lazy, but I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.